And we're live. What's going on, everybody? We are back. We're back again. We were supposed to do this on Monday. Some other technical difficulties kind of came up. My emotions were just kind of all the way compromised. But it's okay. I'm a little compromised right now. Lucas, he's Lucas. He's over there.
Compromised in a completely different way. Completely different way. As we welcome you to JVS Presents Lucas's Weekly Torture, or as we call it, our review of WandaVision.
Exactly. So if you have not seen WandaVision episode 3 by now, leave. Don't. This is a spoiler review.
I meant don't watch it. But I mean, if you're here, there's a chance you care enough and you've seen this episode already.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen the episode, I apologize. I can't do anything for you. We about to go into full details about it as much as we can remember. But do be cognizant. There are gonna be things that we're gonna miss because we saw this literally 4 weeks ago,
somewhere like that.
Yes, 4 or 3 weeks ago. We saw all the first 3 episodes, and we said and stated early on that we really wished that all 3 of these episodes would have came out at the same time. It would have had a different atmosphere. It would have had a different feeling than what, the impression is going one at a time, or even the first 2 episodes and then this one. But we're going to go into details with this. So this one opens up with the pregnancy. It was Wanda, it was Vision, and then their doctor. The doctor was going and evaluating the status of her pregnancy. He was kind of going through the different stages of where the fetus is and all this kind of stuff. Just really cheesy corniness. And this was the Brady Bunch episode, just so you guys know and kind of get a pinpoint of how the accuracy was. And even the opening title credits intro was cute, campy, but what are you going to do?
WandaVision. Okay.
But it started to go really in an interesting route when you started to understand, okay, wait. So she's pregnant, but she's increasingly pregnant. Whereas before, the first 2 episodes was kind of like, okay, we don't know what we're doing here. Are we married? Yeah, we just make rings. We're married. Okay. All right. We have a house. We have neighbors. We want to kind of hide this under the cuff because we don't know where we're doing here. We also don't want to know why we're here. So now it's a situation where it's like they're making themselves well established, and Wanda is increasingly getting more and more pregnant as things go on, where Vision in his head is trying to calculate, well, how much time do we have before this birth actually happens? And so this is where we get to the ruckus of this episode. So Lucas, what did you think about episode 3? I mean, I know you said it's better than the first 2 episodes, but what can you pick apart from this episode? What was the standouts? Aside of Mrs. Geraldine here.
Mrs. Monica. Am I saying the first name right? Monica.
Yep.
Rambeau.
Yeah, he did it.
I'm way more surprised that people don't pay attention to casting news. And they were shocked that Geraldine, who is the actress who was cast to play Monica Rambeau, was Monica Rambeau. But she was a pretty good element of this episode. I believe even Wanda struggling with reality and the pregnancy at the same time was a good element of this episode.
Yeah.
But in the end, it struggled just like the other 2 did. First, it clearly isn't 1 episode yet. And I can tell that. And I'm pretty sure anyone who sees it can tell that it's clearly not 1 episode yet. Same way the first 2 episodes are clearly just 1 episode cut into 2. This one feels like possibly 3 and 4 is 1 episode cut into 2. So it always leaves you wanting more, but not wanting more in a good way.
Yeah.
But at least they did a great job of hinting towards something bigger. But you're not going to get too many more episodes where you can hint to something bigger without getting us bigger reveals that unfortunately you've done a horrible job of already revealing to people. It would have been awesome if you would have hid who you cast as Monica Rambeau before the series opened up, and maybe that could have been a surprise for people. It also would have been a heck of a surprise, not for you comic book nerds, you know everything already, but for normal people, it'd have been a surprise that maybe she has twins. The reason we knew this already is because they literally showed her with cribs in the trailer of this show.
Yep.
Like, again, they spoiled some big moments, and for a 30-minute sitcom-ish, drama-ish, action-ish type of show, you need as many big moments as humanly possible to distract us from questions like, hey, Vision has no reproductive organs. How are you
exactly?
Like, you want to take away, and I understand in the comic books, I believe Wanda made herself pregnant or something. I don't know, because of her powers, and she manifested babies. But if I'm not into comics, I wouldn't know any of this. So I would be walking into the dark of what the hell is going on. All I knew is last episode he had gum, and you show machine work inside of him. So clearly he doesn't have the parts necessary to fully explain this. Nor do you have the time in 30 minutes to attempt to explain where these babies came from.
Yeah, and then for you guys that are comic book, enthusiasts, like the House of M, it seems like they're taking a lot from that. Whether or not they go the full route of it and bleeding into Doctor Strange 2, it's very possible. It's very plausible, but we don't really know. The biggest thing that I felt like was the most interesting part about this episode is the 2 points that Lucas brought up. The moment that Wanda started to become compromised. Yes, when she started going through her pregnancy process, like she started kind of having like small little tremors here or there. Like she was like, oh man, I got contractions. Oh man, like I'm freaking out. My hormone levels are making my powers go crazy. Definitely some bewitched situations going on. But it was the moment that I felt like was the key part of this moment. I think that what's the girl that plays the role of Monica Rambeau? When she cornered her at the house and she was kind of like, what's going on here? I need some help. Started going through a little story, talking about different things. If you started to really listen to Monica Rambeau and what she was talking about as far as her engagement, and then the neighbors were like, yo, this chick, she don't even have a house. And it's kind of like you're assessing yourself like, wait. How much of this is Wanda leaving her guard open, and how much of this is they actually really know? There's a lot of uncertainties about how much the neighbors really already know versus does she have moments of ways when she's just not in control of keeping everybody under her control, under the spell of where things are. Because it felt like, I don't know if you can agree, Lucas, is that when they were talking to Vision, they were about to say,
they about to say, spill the beans.
Yeah.
Say everything. Yeah.
Because it felt like they was trying to say, like, everybody is stuck here and we cannot escape. Yes. And even the freaking doctor, and I thought that was some eerie joint. When the doctor kind of talked to Vision, he was like, you know what? I don't think we're going to go out of town. Like, you just can barely ever escape. And I was like, I was wondering if when Monica was having a conversation with her, in tandem with the timing that Vision was talking to them, that there was a veil over them that was just kind of let go. Because every time that she gets compromised, I'm talking about Wanda, I feel like things start to unravel.
Yes.
And it was kind of the moment where she started kind of humming the nursery rhyme from I guess her old country in I forget where she's from. Oh my gosh, I apologize.
Where is the island that Ultron threw at people? That's what we'll call it. The island that Ultron threw at people.
Sokovia. And so when she started to kind of hum that, Monica started to snap out of it. She was like, wait, you say you had a brother, twin brother too? He got killed by Ultron. And this is for real, for real. My wife was like, wait, what? Like she saw that and she was like, oh, snap. So this is something else going on. And that was where she started again to be like excited about the show. And that was when I was kind of like, okay, whoa, what does this actually really mean? Of course, we already know, me and Lucas. But the difference is that now it's kind of bringing levels of intrigue and it gets more exciting. And not just that, Wanda started to lose her composure. It wasn't so much she just kind of like, before everybody else, she kind of like, I'm going to phase you back out. You know, like I'm going to get you to forget what you just said. Yo, Geraldine or Monica, she tried to play it off. She was like, oh, I can go and tell you again. Like she was kind of like, oh, I already revamped. It's okay. You don't got to rewind me. And Wanda was like, nah, I think you got a dipset. And I was like, yo, she about to kill this straight up. And like when Vision came back, Vision was like, where's Monica? She's like, oh, she went home. And next thing you see is her in this position outside of what we see is an actual barrier that looks like a TV wave, which you would say that she got pushed outside of this. The reason why I wanted to bring all this to get to this point is that she came out of this with the clothes from what Wanda fabricated. You feel me? So she went in there initially, you know, at some point, we don't know, between the first episode and the second episode, and she just became a part of this. But she came out of that with the clothes.
So did she infiltrate it? Or did Wanda put it in there?
That's what I'm saying.
It plays way more like she infiltrated it.
Yep.
And they kind of probably warned her ahead of time. When you go in, you're gonna fall under the spell. You have no other option.
Yep.
But the hymn brought her back out of it, and it made her reveal something to Wanda, because Wanda at this time clearly seems like she does not want to remember. It's not a situation of somebody taking her memory. It's her controlling her own memory and not wanting to remember anything.
Yeah. And so the other thing I wanted to bring up about this fact is the clothes. Okay. If you can take something that didn't actually exist in this world and then create it and then bring it out, then technically that's an out for Vision. You feel me? Because if the clothes that she's got on right now wasn't something she came in there with that was just created out of nothingness from Wanda, then that means that Wanda possibly has within her to either one, take these infants and bring them out, or Vision bring them out, or whatever else. And I think that by doing that, that's what's going to be the ripple effect that's going to mess up the multiverse situation.
And then get us to Doctor Strange.
Yes, I really did. That was this moment right here was the thing that I was like, all right, I gotta see where this goes. That was the only reason why. I mean, aside from when she was pregnant, there was a callback to The Exorcist. Cool stuff moving around when she was pregnant and stuff like that. I was like, there you go. There's another horror element. This is The Exorcist situation. It's just the payoff wasn't as good as the other two. Other than when she freaked out on your girl Monica. I thought that was really dope. But I mean, aside from that, y'all,
there's nothing to talk about. I'll quote a friend who said, who's in a spoiler discussion group on WandaVision, and he saw the episodes, and someone in the group said, hey, don't spoil it. We're not doing any spoilers today. And he said, I don't know if I could spoil it if I wanted to. Like, it's literally nothing happened to spoil anything. Unfortunately, for these first 3 episodes, any big moments or reveals were told to us before the show came out.
Yep.
And that's the issue.
Yep. And
so all we're guessing now is, okay, if Wanda's created this world and Nick Fury sent this young woman in here, part of I forget the name of the organization. There you go. And he sent this young woman in here to infiltrate it to attempt to bring Wanda out of whatever Charles Xavier trance that she's under here. Like, and then she gets kicked out because her mind reopens up to reality, out of the reality that Wanda has been attempting to control. Then what's the next move? Because if it goes down this path and we are right, which is a good chance we are right, then that means we kind of know where this show is going. Well, it's clearly going to Young Avengers, but we kind of already know where this show is going. And we're only 3 episodes in. It is 6 more of these episodes.
Yep.
Like that's where it becomes a situation where doing these shows by the numbers is always going to be a flaw.
Yeah.
We love The Boys because from one episode to the next, you didn't know what the heck was happening. I didn't love it, but people love Umbrella Academy because from one episode to the next, it was kind of hard to tell what was going to happen. Same thing with Doom Patrol. Heck, at this point, same thing with Stargirl, where you didn't know what was going to happen from one episode to the next. What I need is to be surprised. And unfortunately, Marvel did something that people have claimed DC has been doing for years, which is reveal way too much in the trailers.
Yeah.
I think it would have been so much better if they would have just stuck with the TV theme and didn't reveal anything else.
Yeah, I really feel like they oversaturated the promotion because they knew for a fact they had to promote this as their flagship for Disney Plus after The Mandalorian. It's kind of like they put themselves in a corner. And that's another situation where we'll talk about it for another day. It's already been a Facebook fight on that. We'll leave that to be.
No fight. It's just one of our friends has a contract with Disney. And everything he says must be approved by Disney moderators. That's all that is. It is not a fight. We all know he gets paid by Disney per tweet, per discussion, per everything.
Anyway, I'm just saying that it put them in a situation. Whereas instead, if hypothetically speaking, Falcon and Winter Soldier came out before this, I mean, it's so many different things that would have been different in the way that this was even distributed, even in the way this was promoted. I mean, to be honest with you, the very first Disney Plus, Marvel thing that I saw promotions for was Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then I saw the WandaVision trailer. So it's like, I mean, it does do it a disservice. And to answer your question, Chris P, why was the guy cutting through the branch in the 3rd episode? So this is my theory. I don't really know. The reason why I brought up that there felt like there was a veil that lifted from them, I feel like when Vision was kind of going around and walking, like he was having this momentary lapse because Wanda was going back and forth from her body's emotions to what's happening. Like she's pregnant, like she's losing control of her actual powers. And I think that was giving him a screw loose. Like her body.
It's an old television trick. Whenever you deal, especially, I think I love the point that you brought up Bewitched, because it's actually a trick from Bewitched of saying that they cannot control when women are pregnant. And I don't mean any offense to women here. But if you look at any old shows that deal with women with powers, when they are pregnant, they always focus on at that point of giving birth, at that point of all of that happening, they lose control of powers and they lose control of people that their powers may be able to control. Yeah. Again, Bewitched, hell, Charmed. We saw it like twice on Charmed. We saw it about powers not being able to do what you are accustomed to them doing during childbirth. And I think that's why we saw the break for a second in the neighbors as they're talking, and Vision trying to get more information out of them when he notices, like, wait a minute, why are you talking like this? Why are you saying it like this? And then it snaps. What we don't see, or what we assume, and this is a good setup on their part, we assume that the neighbors snapped themselves back. Not understanding possibly at that exact same time is when Wanda, I think she had birth at that time, right?
Yep. And it was literally the same exact moment.
So she gained control back immediately, right afterwards.
Yep.
And that's why it kicked back into normal for them again. So same thing with the tree branching, cutting.
Yeah.
It's just a momentary lapse in her powers because of that situation going on, which again, they foreshadow for us by showing everything going wonky while she was becoming more and more pregnant.
Yeah. And again, the last 3 episodes of this could be dope, or the last 4 episodes, because we don't have any understanding of what is in those. Those haven't been telegraphed in the trailers. Those could be dope. I don't really know. I don't really know. I just know that this is going to spark some things with Spider-Man, and the Spider-Verse is going to spark wherever the character's direction is going to go with Doctor Strange 2. The question that I had,
Avengers, it sparks Sword.
Oh yeah, even Secret Wars possibly. Yeah, true.
Yeah, true. Well, the Secret War show with Nick Fury, so clearly,
yeah,
it's sparking that also. Like this is, I think the goal initially was to understand that while Falcon and Winter Soldier may not launch everything else down the line that they want to play, it's an action-based show, so it's easier to get into.
Yeah.
And then you come back with WandaVision, a show that's going to branch off everything humanly possible you need to do moving forward with the television universe, and some of the stuff with the movie universe, and how you get mutants, and Reed Richards is going to clearly pop up in one of these movies. Like it is the launching show. So, but when you have a launching show, you don't necessarily want to open with that show, because you want the launching show to have the freedom to not have to deal with the expectations of being the first show that launches.
Yeah.
And I think, again, Doom Patrol and Titans.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I was literally about to say
that. They gave you the action-based show first, and gave you the show that clearly launches the weirdness of everything you love about these type of shows with Doom Patrol. And I think I don't blame WandaVision for it. I blame our current situation, because that's the reason why that they had to switch up the order and what they wanted to do here. But it also tells you the point that they switched up that order, that don't expect any big reveals in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah, true.
It's not made to have big reveals. This show was made to have big reveals.
Chris P, I don't know about that. Dr. Xavier is gonna come through in the end of this show. I mean, I'm gonna say this.
No.
The fact is that Wanda technically is a mutant. They haven't gone into the science fact that the Reality Stone only awakened their abilities. They glossed over that because they didn't have the rights at that time.
Yeah.
Is this a good gateway to mutants and Pietro and family lineage? I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know about Xavier's popping up.
You're not popping Charles Xavier at the end of WandaVision. I don't. Who is Chris P? Who's Chris P? Chris P, look at me, look at me. Look at me.
I'm the captain.
There will be no Charles Xavier in this show. Do you think that Mickey Mouse with his big ears would ever in any way, shape, form, or fashion allow you to introduce one of the biggest characters they have in a television show? No, sir. I can introduce the concept of mutants with this show, but I'm damn sure not revealing Charles Xavier with this show. In all honesty, it's kind of probably end with Wanda getting control of her powers again and her emotions and blah, 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 blah. And then it leads to maybe Doctor Strange showing up at the end because he can do the little twisty things with his hands. And then maybe that will help her, and it sets up the multiverse of madness. There you go. But Charles Xavier, no.
So I got a theory, and then I got a last final question, and we can finally end this joint because we didn't talk longer than I thought we were.
We didn't talk longer than the damn show was at this point. Well,
I feel like we're talking about more interesting things in the episode. So my theory is this: by the end of the episode, Wanda, in some way, shape, or form, is going to get some kind of closure, but she will have done irreparable damage to the timeline. That some kind of way the multiverse will be sparked from what she does, and we're gonna find out that somebody is behind the manipulation behind of it. I don't know if it's like somebody like Manifesto or whoever the villain is in
Gotta be bigger.
Doctor Strange 2. But I'm just saying that somebody like Mephisto is connected to Spider-Man, is connected to Doctor Strange, is connected to, the manipulation side of stuff. And I feel like by the end of this, I don't know. I feel like there's definitely going to be a change that's going to happen in the worst kind of way. That's how we're going to lead into Doctor Strange 2. But my question to you is,
did we get that already with Iron Man causing irreparable damage and leading? No, same thing. We got the same thing. At the end of phase 1 was Iron Man opening up something and leading to irreparable damage and leading us to
no. So you're talking about
Ultron.
You're talking about Avengers 2, Ultron.
Yes.
Who the person that manipulated Tony Stark to do that was Wanda.
Yes.
She put all those things into motion. She put us on the path that we're on right now. But anyway, I'm just saying that as far as Vision is concerned, do you think he's actually alive? Or do you think this is a manifestation of her subconscious? Is this her subconscious talking?
Her subconscious, which will eventually lead to her bringing him back to life. Because she clearly has the power to do it.
So you think she's fighting herself then?
Yes.
While she's talking to other people.
It's all about herself. That's it. And it has literally something to do with, it's a Marvel thing. So clearly has something to do with Endgame. It has to at this point. And it's her fighting herself. Not only her fighting herself, but her fighting possibly someone who's attempting to use her to do something. Which sounds like Nick Fury. I swear it sounds like Nick Fury.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we need to end. You guys are posing some really good questions. Definitely go to the comment section.
That's how Cap comes back too.
What?
Chris Evans wants to lie and tell him, I didn't sign no contract. You're gonna
straight up.
You're gonna sign it. Yeah, we're not dumb. Robert Downey Jr. said the same thing.
Whenever the next Avengers
$40 million
movie
film got thrown at him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing it."
Best believe Captain America is gonna be in the next Avengers movie. Period.
Yeah, but again, this just helps set up everything moving forward. MCU. That's all this show's supposed to do. I may talk about it because I did not want to watch this show at all. I had no interest in watching the show. I damn sure didn't have no interest in reviewing the show, but Sam made me do it. And it's not because I blame the show. This show is not set up to be something easy to review week to week. This is actually a show that should be binged. It should not be watched week to week. To me, week to week hurts this show. Because again, it's supposed to reveal so much and it's supposed to set up so much moving forward. And it's supposed to let go of a certain character also moving forward. So it's just made as a setup piece. And then you'll get right back to the action with Loki. That was the goal. But we're here now.
Yeah, and to be fair, Lucas, I made it up to you. I finally watched The Witch with Anya Taylor-Joy. You lied to me.
No, you made it up. You made it up. You made it up for Lovecraft. You got a whole nother thing to make up with. After I said I was done, I said 2 episodes. I said I'm done. You don't need to do another WandaVision. I'll say 3. I said I'll give you these 3 because
I did give you Succession. I told you I'll do Succession with you. I'll catch up with Succession.
Finally, we could do good television.
Yeah, what's good, Tim Turner, EG? Appreciate you for coming out. Thank all of you guys. It's like 11 of you guys. Why y'all listen to us, man? We've been talking for 20-something minutes.
Man, we have talked literally longer than the episode, which is normally rule number 1 for me. When reviewing shows, you do not talk longer than the episode.
Trying to cut the chat. But over here in LA, it's barely 8 o'clock. Brother, it's 11 o'clock, man. We dipped that.
I'm about to say, yeah, because I can't help you there, my brother. Understand it's only 8 o'clock in LA, but now if you want to tune in another time where we have a discussion about Snyder Cut, King Kong, we'll discuss Marvel and the MCU moving forward. Why the hell would anybody care that a Black Widow movie is being made? Like when we talk about that type of stuff, those are our hour plus discussions, but WandaVision is not.
Lucas, you know we're right now streaming on Facebook. Why are you gonna start a secret war right now?
Hey! He knows who he is, and he understands his Disney contract. Like I said, he understands who he is.
Shoot, I'm gonna plug this right now, you guys. Just so y'all know, y'all gonna get to see some unfiltered Lucas action in this new setup that we're going to be doing with a bunch of other content creators, other podcasters, and other YouTubers, where basically we're going to break down what does it mean to have a good or bad movie, good and bad in the sense like this. So say you got a film and the movie is good and then it's also entertaining, but what if those lines are blurred? What if there's a situation where a movie is bad but very entertaining? Or what if there's a movie?
Rambeau 4.
Exactly.
They threw babies into fire. The movie is not good at all, but boy, is it entertaining.
So we're going to go and basically go through movie to movie. I don't know what movie we're going to start with. And we're going to kind of break that down in everybody's perspective on what that really means to them. And it's going to be cutthroat. It's going to be some hurt. It's gonna be some hurt feelings out there, but it's gonna be dope, and hopefully it'll help y'all.
Can we start with Man of Steel?
No, we gotta look. I told you about it. We gotta do our commentary on that first. We gotta do our commentary on Man of Steel first. Then once that's done and it's clean and civilized, then yeah, I'm fine with doing that. I don't want that to be the first one. Let's do Iron Man 2.
I mean, is it a discussion that that's a bad movie?
No.
And it's not entertaining. It's not entertaining.
Look, there's some people.
Now, if you say Iron Man 3, which is a bad movie, but still entertaining, sure.
Okay, shoot. Let's do that.
By Mickey Rourke. Bad Russian accent Mickey Rourke is not entertaining to anybody. Not Iron Man 2.
Let's I don't care. Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3.
Thor 2.
Hey, I actually love that soundtrack though.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing
I didn't like the movie, but that's the only thing.
I like the elves. That's the movie with the elves, right? I like that.
Yeah. Oh, there is that one scene with Loki that was actually really good. Might have been the best Tom Hiddleston scene that he ever did as Loki. But anywho, who cares? We'll talk about that later, you guys. That's a little bit of a snippet of what's good, what's bad, what's entertaining, what's a movie. And yeah, we're gonna go there later on with a whole bunch of other people. I can't believe it's 13, you guys. We're gonna go. All right, guys. Have a good night.